G'day guys, Luke here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video guys, we are doing the Reptile update for the second quarter of 2025. This will be a very long video, so kick back, relax, grab something to eat, grab a drink. We've also got some new members to the family to go through, so stay tuned for that. However, we are starting here with Aurora, who is my beautiful little baby diamond python. She's doing exceptionally well, eating very well, never skips a feed so far. She's a very beautiful tempered snake, and every time she sheds her skin, she's getting more and more beautiful. So as she ages, her colours will come out even more, which I'm looking forward to. She's housed in a 50 centimeter enclosure. In her enclosure, we've got the aspen bedding as a substrate. Got a couple of hides in there, one towards the front where it's the cool end, because that's where the water bowl is. And then the second hide, there's a heat pad underneath it to keep her nice and warm. Got her branches in there so she can either climb on or perch on, like what she's currently doing. And since she's near the doorway, to prevent her freaking out and giving her a bit more privacy, we've got a backing as well. Then she shares her LED UV light bar with two other critters. This one in here being one of the newer members of the family. A little unexpected, but let's introduce you to them. So here we have Toothless. Toothless here is a little Cunningham skink. Now the idea is once he gets older, or she, we don't know the gender, we go outside with a couple of other animals you'll see later in the video. Got the food bowl, water bowl. Where Toothless is currently sitting is a heat pad to keep it nice and warm. And of course the LED that's now flickering in the camera. Still on the shy side as you can see, so a little bit of work there. And the aspen bedding is the substrate. In you go, Toothless. The other demo that we have is another skink named Suey. Suey here is my sand swimmer. Now, I don't see Suey a whole bunch these days, but every now and again I check on her. She's doing fantastic, eating food, and just doing what she does best. She's housed in a 50 centimeter enclosure. In the enclosure itself, we've got a heat pad just underneath this hide here. There's about 2 to 3 inches worth of sand for her to burrow into. A fake plant, a secondary hide just off to the left, and then another one at the back she can go into. Water bowl, and her backing. This unique little blue tongue here we have is Blaine. Now Blaine here is my lowland blotch blue tongue. Since the last update, nothing really going on in her life. We made some small changes to her enclosure. So previously she had a heat light on top of her enclosure. Now we switched it out for a heat pad, so she's now enjoying the heat pad a lot more. Since she's a very shy little blue tongue, we find she's actually liking the heat pad better. In her enclosure still, we've got the aspen bedding, 2 hides, food bowl, water bowl, her backing, then a LED UVB light bar on top of her enclosure. But apart from that, that's Blaine. The next 2 enclosures that we are going to cover off are my 2 eastern blue tongue skinks, Bo and Billy. We used to have a third one named Bluey, but unfortunately Bluey passed away back in January. So now it's just Bo and Billy. So these 2 are housed in a 127 enclosure each. So in each of their enclosures, we've got the aspen bedding as the substrate, food bowl and water bowl. We've got a hide for the 2 to go into. They're backing the LED UVB light bar. The only difference between the 2 enclosures is that Bo has the heat element while Billy has a heat pad. But speaking of the 2, let's go say hello to them. After Bluey passed away, Bo was quite active, I guess looking around for his brother. But the last probably month or so, he's been in his hide, just sulking away. I know, he's shedding his skin. Well, he's starting to, but Bo hasn't been the most energetic blue tongue since Bluey's passing. So even though these 2 did fight, almost kill each other, there's probably a sense of connection there between the 2. So I just want to say that Bo is just always hiding these days. And it's not coming out as much as he used to, which is sad actually. Then Billy, she's still the menace to society that it actually is. So hopefully I can pull her out gently so you can see the big girl. Come here. No, gotta do the other way. It was a tricky spot. Here she is. So she's quite a girthy little blue tongue, doing well, and gives me attitude still, but we still love her. Don't we really? We have a pair of 60 centimeter enclosures to go through, but while this cheeky chop is out, let's say hello. This is Thumper. Now Thumper here is my Digi skink. As you can see, he's doing fine. Seems not to like me too much, but he likes my mum, which is kind of funny. So in his enclosure, I've got sand as a substrate. We've got a fake rock stack in here, so he can choose kind of what crevice he wants to wedge himself into. If not, he can sit on the top and sit right underneath his heat light to get some heat. We've got his backing, UVB. There's a proper hide in the corner here. Then you've got his food bowl and water bowl. Going on to his neighbour here named Pedro. Now Pedro here is my pink tongue skink. Let's say hello. Hey buddy, how you doing? Pedro is a very secretive little guy, which you don't see much of. So this is more of a nocturnal species. Saying that, he's a very cool little guy, and sometimes during the day he will come out and explore. In his enclosure, I've got Jasmine bedding as his substrate, 2 caves on the floor, his food bowl, water bowl, a couple of fake plants in here to give him a bit more coverage, a backing that has a cave into it, that way he's got an extra place to hide. Then we've got his heat just above, which he can't quite get to, so thankfully he can't reach that. And then we've got a light strip just on top to give him some light. But that's the skink wall pretty much. We are very lucky today to have Dusty actually sitting out in the open for all of us to have a good look at him. For people who are wondering what Dusty is, he's a black-headed miner or black-tailed miner or tristis miner. I think the scientific name is Varanus tristis tristis or Varanus tristis, one or two. I think there's a subspecies of tristis, so, you know, either or, he is a tristis. Now, Dusty's doing fantastic. For the most part, he only eats the food if I put it in the food bowl. He doesn't like to be tongue-fed, he doesn't like to be picked up, even touched, so I kind of leave him be. And I think that's a secret to have this guy get more comfortable, is just leaving him alone and just giving him space. And of course, over time, he's got a bit more confident to hang out in the open. But as you see, no drama with Dusty. So Dusty here is housed in a 140 centimetre enclosure, so that's shy of being 5 foot. In his enclosure, we've got sand as a substrate, got a rock hide there for him he can go into. These 2 logs here are hollow, so he can go in that and hide if he wants to. Being a tree goanna, he will use the branches as well to climb around or sit on like what he's doing now. Got a couple of fake plants in there to give the enclosure a bit more greenery. Got his heat element in there. The LED UVB light bar, his backing, then we've got his food bowl and his water bowl. And that's all Dusty needs, and as you can see, he's quite happy. This cheeky dragon here who's currently ignoring me is Akko. Now Akko, he's a female eastern war dragon. Since the last update, nothing too crazy is happening in her life. She's kind of just checking out her neighbours and see if she can annoy them or get their attention, but at the moment she's not getting any luck. She's still housed in a 140 centimetre enclosure, so just below 5 feet. In her enclosure, I've still got the coconut fibre substrate. Her pond that she makes a mess of quite easily, even though I just cleaned it. So thank you, Akko, for undoing all my hard work. Oh, now you're noticing me. Fine, okay. Got her branches she can climb on. A couple of pieces of timber in here for her to bask on. Food bowl, fake plant, her diva sign. Got a hide, hammock. Depending on what mood she's in, she'll either sleep in the hide or on a hammock. We've got a heat, got a UVB, and we've also got a backing to set this enclosure off. But that's the diva. Hey, aren't you, Akko? On the bottom shelf of this shelving unit, we've got my 2 beautiful Shinglebacks, Monty and Anastasia. So Monty is a male who's coming up to say g'day to his beautiful girlfriend Anastasia, who's coming to take a bit of a nap. Now these 2 Shinglebacks are quite funny, in fact they just don't do much at all. They're quite lazy individuals. Let's say 80% of the time they're sleeping, 10% of the time they'll be walking around and just getting a little bit of exercise in, and the other 10% is them eating. These guys just eat, sleep and repeat. That's what they do. Sounds like a lovely lifestyle, isn't it? But these 2 are housed in a 120 centimetre enclosure, so 4 foot enclosure. In the enclosure itself, we've got the aspen bedding as a substrate. They've got 2 hides they can sleep in, one underneath the heat light, one on the other end to keep cool. Got the water bowl, got the food bowl, and if we just peep up here, we've got the heat and UVB, and also their backing. Now we are on to Akko's new neighbours. Now what we have here are some she-oak skinks. Now I'll be honest guys, I've had these for quite some time, just never thought of showcasing them, but after seeing Beach's Scatty Beast's video and Coop's Reptile's video, I thought, bugger it, I might as well showcase these guys and put a bit more of awareness of this species as a kind of an underrated gem and a very cool little species to own. So in this 60 centimetre enclosure, we've got 4 she-oaks named Gum, Ghost, Jara and Taz. We'll get to each individual in a moment. But in the enclosure, with the food bowl, water bowl, and some bedding as a substrate, plenty of hides to go around, so there's no cause to be fighting. Saying that, these guys have been housed together for the last 6 years at another facility, so they're getting along just fine. Got a backing just behind the enclosure to set it off, UVB, and a heat cord that they share with some more other animals, who we get to in a minute. But let's introduce you to everyone. So in this hide over here, this is Gum. Gets the name Gum because of the blue coloration in his scales, so blue Gum. This one here, are you the aggressive? Yeah, this is Ghost. So Ghost is the very aggressive she-oak we have in the family. This long one just behind him is Jara. Then if we can find the fourth member, yep, there he is. Hang on. No, that's Jara, and you're Ghost. The reason why I can tell you to apart is because you will bite me. Yep, there we go. He's not a happy little camper. I guess if you had a finger stuck in your face, you'd probably bite it off too. But those are my 4 she-oak skinks, or adults, I should mention. Since I've had some quiet time, they sooner or later had babies. So we've got 7 babies to show. There's 4 of them in this 60cm enclosure, then another 3 that are separated because they started killing each other. Initially we had 8 babies, but unfortunately 1 died. But of course I can't tell who's who in this enclosure. So we've got Will, Elizabeth, Callisto and Pearl in this enclosure here. So we've got 1. There's the second one. The third one is over here just trying to harass Echo. And I did see the 4th one, but where did he go? Oh, there he is. And there's the 4th one. As you can see, the enclosure, very simple. There's a heat cord running along that line of hides. Funny enough, they claim a hide each. I put more hides in there, well, hides, just some toilet rolls cut up as extra hides, water bowl. For now, I'll be giving them dog food every second day and crickets any other day, just to mix their diet up a bit. While we are at it, we'll introduce you to the other 3 she-oak skinks that are now in solitary confinement. So this one here is Jack. This one over here is Barbosa. There he is. And then the last but not least, we've got Davey. Now, you probably would have seen a theme with all these babies. So for those who want to play a little game, where did I get these names from? Whoever gets it correct first, I'll pin it in the comments. But at the moment, they're just housing these 3 little glass tanks in solitary confinement so they don't hurt each other anymore. Now, I can't forget my 2 beautiful geckos, can't I? So in here we've got Luna, who's my female spine-tailed gecko. Then Charco's in here, but he's underneath the hide, so we'll see him in a second. Both geckos are doing fantastic. Since I separated them, they're gaining weight, which is good. That's what I want. I am thinking about putting them back together for the breeding season later on in the year. But with both enclosures, they're 20 by 30 cm enclosures, which is all they need. They've got their branches, a couple of hides each. There's a heat cord that they share with the baby she-oaks and the bigger she-oaks as well. It kind of runs for the whole shelving unit. Sensor, substrate, water bowl. So there's Luna. She's quite confident, doesn't mind sitting out in the light. But then her partner in crime, Charcoal, he's a very shy little boy. Let's say hello to him. In here, Charcoal. Yep, there he is. Have to clean your cage, mate. Your crickets are making a mess. As you can see, cease to separate them. I feel bad doing it, but if I left them together, they'll probably just end up breeding that badly or that much. Their body conditions would have been no good. Now, Charcoal, where you going, buddy? I don't want to squish you. I do ya. It's always a game with these 2. We shuffle their house around. Like, no, I'm going over here. Oh no, I'm going somewhere else. But yeah, those are the 2 little geckos. Making our way into the snake room, and while we're looking at the shelving unit, might as well start with this shelving unit. Starting off with my 2 brown tree snakes, Willow and Diablo, who we'll get to shortly. Both of them are housed in 70cm enclosures. In each of the enclosures, we've got a heat pad, aspen snake bedding as a substrate, multiple places from the hide, water bowl, branches, a backing that we also incorporate a couple of little hiding places for them, and a light strip that they share with half the room pretty much. So this is Willow's enclosure here. She's sitting right at the top today. She's doing well, still on the defensive side, but eating more regularly, which is great as I want her to gain more weight and get nice and big. Then her partner in crime, Diablo, he's further from the truth for his name. He's a very sweet little snake. This is his house here, and he's currently sitting up here as well today. So both round trees and in prime positions for viewing. But like I said, Diablo's a very sweet little round tree snake. Below them, we have a couple cheeky snakes. In the left-hand side, we have my blonde spotted python male, named Caesar. Then a little children's python named Valentino, who is a very cheeky little boy. Both snakes are housed in 60 cm enclosures. In the enclosures, we've got a heat pad, 3 places from the hide, a couple of fake plants, branches, a backing, a light strip that they both share together as it's a smaller model, substrate that has some bedding, water bowl, pretty much what they need. So Caesar's in the back corner here. He doesn't like to be disturbed, otherwise he might strike out and bite me, which is not a case I want to deal with. Other than that, I just feed him, give him fresh water, clean his house when it needs to, and regularly check up on him, make sure he's healthy in case I need to take him to the vet. But often not, he's fine, I don't have to worry about him. Then this cheeky little guy, Valentino, hey buddy. I'm pretty sure he's a young boy. He's the son to Emma and Azula, who we'll see later in the video. He's the first baby snake I ever produced, so it was a no-brainer to keep him. And since we've had him, he's very much the temperament of his dad, or the cheekiness of his dad, of when he likes to bite me. He looks like his dad, but I'll be honest, when I get him out, when he's not biting me, he's got the temperament of his mother, which is beautiful. But that's his house there. So shut the door on him and Caesar so they don't get out while we talk about the next character. This little guy down here, his name is Rosu. Now Rosu here is my little Reptile monitor. Out of all the goannas that we have in the family, which is only 3, he's by far the most friendliest, and he's kind of the one who likes to come up and say hello. But once he realises we've got no food, he gets a bit more shy, which is fair enough. He's housed in a 127 enclosure, so it's a 4-foot enclosure. In his enclosure, we've got his sands and substrate, a fake rock sack that he likes to hang out in. He's got his branches that he's currently sitting on, well, probably because he's right under the heat light. Got his UVB. We've got his, I guess, additional hide in there that's filled up with a little bit of sand that I'll wet down so he can dig around in that and keep it cool, get a bit more humidity in there for him. So when he sheds his skin, comes off nice and easily. We've got his water bowl as well, but he's a cool little character. Nothing can go wrong with a Reptile monitor. For those who are looking at getting into goannas, especially in Australia, definitely go for a Reptile monitor. You cannot go past them for how friendly they are, and not a very big species either. Here we have Charles, my Bernardine carpet python. Now lately she's gone into brumation as it's starting to cool down here in Australia, so she's gone off her food. Still on a bit of the crankier side, so don't want to annoy her too much, otherwise she will strike out and either bite me or smack her face against the glass, which is not ideal. She's housed in a 90 cm enclosure. So in an enclosure, we've pretty much got a backing heat light. As you can see, the light strip runs through her enclosure, quite literally. We've got a hammock, a vine, a couple of hides, got a substrate, fake plant, water bowl. Other than that, once we do get Charles out of her enclosure, she does calm down, but once she's in the enclosure, she's a very cranky little snake. It's probably a better way to put it. Her neighbours are Aaron and Sinkers, who are 2 more children pythons. Both are female, so of course they're not going to breed. So they're housed in a 90 cm or 100 cm enclosure, so just over 3 foot. In the enclosure, we've got 2 proper hides, a rock stack they can get into as well, a couple of branches, a couple of fake plants, a light strip that finishes with them, their heat, and water bowl. So we say hello to Snickers. She's doing fantastic. By the looks of things, yes. Looks like she's going to shed her skin in the next few days. It's like no tomorrow. Very friendly snake. She doesn't cause me any dramas at all. But her cage mate has caused me some headaches in the past by being Miss Houdini and getting out. So this is Erin. Different looking snake, but from the same family, of course. She's just fine. She's a bit more gentle when it comes to food, while she's a heavy hitter. But she's also very beautiful with her temperament. Never bites. Well, she's bitten me once, but that was my fault. Hey, Snicks. So, both are doing fine. Can't complain. It's always good to say, well, I guess it's good to say little than saying a whole bunch, because then, you know, nothing's too crazy's happened to them. But below them, we've got the gentle giant of the reptile room named Chris. Well, for the most part, she's the gentle giant. But when there's food involved, she becomes a bit more psychotic. So Chris here is my black-headed python. She's probably pushing about 8 feet, but she's still a gentle giant. Like I said, she could be a teddy bear 1 minute, then a killing machine the next. But nothing too much happening with her life, apart from eating, pooing, growing more, eating more, pooing more, then growing some more, and getting heavier. She's housed in a 6-foot enclosure, so 180 centimetres. In her enclosure, we've got 2 giant hides for her to go into. One on the warm side underneath her heat light, then the one away from the heat light, so it's a cool hide. Water bowl, we've got her branch that she'll sometimes use. We've got a display light in there to give her some light, her backing, and a fake plant just add a bit more decorations. Substrates that's been beating. This end of the enclosure will add quite a lot, so she can burrow through and go for a bit of a dig and have a bit of fun. Below her, we have another 6-foot enclosure that has this Ray, my Rosenberg monitor. For once, he's chilling out, sleeping. You probably wake up on a second, but he's doing fine. He's eating no problems at all. In fact, we actually started to work on his outdoor enclosure. Pretty much twice the size of what he's in now. Well, to be honest, he is getting a bit too big for this enclosure. So we are slowly chipping away at his new house. And hopefully by, spring this year, he can go out there. We're slowly chipping away at it. We want to make sure it's proper so he can't get out of it. But other than that, he's just hanging out today. So in his enclosure, we've got his backing, we've got his heat light, got a big hide that he would use sometimes, where his rocks that he would sit on as a bit more heat to it. We put fake plants in there, but he's destroyed those, so forget about them. Substrate, which is coconut fibre. We've got his log that he can sometimes climb on, his hammock, not as big water bowl, but when he goes outside, he'll get a bigger water bowl to kind of hang out in if he wants to go for a bit of a swim or get a nice soak, whatever he wants to do with it. He's Ray, he can do whatever he wants. And of course, we've got his LED UVB light bars in here as well. On to our last shelving unit, but we've still got a couple more animals to go through in another room. But in this 4-foot enclosure, so 120 centimetre enclosure, we have Chappie and Orchid, my 2 central carpet pythons. Chappie has gone off food yet again, so it's a little bit frustrating, but I'm hoping he's doing that because we are going into our winter. So some of my mistakes go into brumation that time of year. Orchid, she laid a clutch of eggs back in just before New Year's, and I can happily announce on the 6th of March we had some babies hatch out. She had 25 eggs, 18 of those eggs had hatched, however we had 19 babies. So for the 2nd year running, we had a set of twins, which is I find funny. So maybe next year I need to expect a extra baby when they hatch, if the twin thing keeps happening. In the enclosure, we've got the substrate, we've got the water bowl, 2 big hides that I can go in or sit on top of, like what Chappie's doing now. A couple of branches, a couple of fake plants to decorate the enclosure. We've got the heat, and then the light strip on top to display the enclosure. Below them, we've got my 2 diamond pythons, Atrum and Aurelia. Bit of drama coming out of this enclosure lately. Atrum had to go to the vets as the lump on his jaw got quite large, quite suddenly. Turns out it was an infection, so he should be back to normal, but I'm just giving another month or 2 to be on the safe side. So we're using butcher's paper as a substrate for now. Water bowl, 3 hides in there for him, branches, backing, heat, and of course we get the LED UVB light bars. Here's Atrum. Can you see your pretty face, buddy? Oh no. Ever since we stabbed him with needles, he hasn't been that particularly fond of me. As you can see, he's looking much better. So hopefully that little problem doesn't come back. Then his cage mate, Aurelia, can come out and say hello. He's in the hide today, but we'll disturb him. There he is. He's a beautiful snake. He's also going to shed, so he's not looking that promising or that beautiful today. But hopefully next time we can get to see his beautiful yellows. That's how he got his name, Aurelia. That means, I think, yellow in Rome, and Atrum means black in Rome. So, a little fun fact there for you guys. Put this lock back on, and we move down to the bottom shelf. Down in this 80 centimetre enclosure, we've got my breeding pair of children pythons, Emma and Zula. So they had 9 babies this season, and I can say all those babies have gone to their new homes, which is fantastic. Here we have Zula, the proud mum, who's bouncing back from her egg-laying commitments. Hey, gorgeous. So we'll put this back down so we're not disturb it too much. Then her lovely boyfriend, Emma, who's a proud dad yet again, and he's also in the shed. And he's probably come over to start something with me. Because normally when I disturb him and his girlfriend, he's like, you want to start something? Not today, buddy. So in the enclosure, 3 hides. There is a heat pad underneath where Emma is. We've got substrate, which is aspirin yet again. As you probably see a theme there. All my snakes are on aspirin pretty much. We've got a fake plant, water bowl, backing, and they share. Oh no, they don't have anyone with this light strip. Sorry, they don't share this light strip with anyone. They get the whole thing to themselves. So sweet. Now onto my last 2 snakes of the family, but these were the 2 that started it all. So the one that's kind of going, hey there, is Graham. Graham is doing exceptionally well. She's now off food for the winter. As usual around this time of year, she does go off food. So last week, at the time of recording of this video, she refused food. So I thought, yep, there she goes. She's going to brumation now. And I think Superstar is going to brumation too. So she's in that hide at the moment. I kind of feel bad for disturbing Graham, but I might have to do it. Let's jump in. Sorry, Graham. Oh, there she comes. Hey, Superstar. So Superstar is kind of the reason why this whole adventure started in the first place. So March 2010 was when I started my reptile keeping journey. Fast forward 15 years later and I still have this beautiful snake. So Superstar and Graham, my first 2 snakes. Very, very happy I still have them 15 years later. Hopefully I'll have them for another 15 years, but that would be remarkable if I get to that stage. But we'll see what happens, eh? So these 2 beautiful snakes are housed in a 90cm enclosure. In the enclosure, sorry guys, I'm all over the place today. We've got 3 hides in here, got the substrate, water ball, branches, or a branch from the climb on. Not really that type of individuals that like to climb. Fake plant, a rock, backing. They've got the heat and a light bulb in there to display the enclosure. But apart from that, that's all my snakes. But we've got 2 lizards to go. Stay hanging there, guys. Last but not least, we have my 2 Gibson War Dragons, Bruce and Shigo, that are currently in the kitchen because we had nowhere else to put them in my room. Now, unfortunately, Emerald passed away. For those who don't know, Emerald was another female Gibson War Dragon, but for some reason she passed away. I'm not entirely sure what happened. She did lay some eggs, but I think she just didn't bounce back from that. Even though I tried cease feeding her, separating her, doing every trick in the book, I think it was just a bit too late. But these 2 are housed in a 180cm enclosure, so it's another 6-foot enclosure. They will go outside in an outdoor enclosure soon. After the raised enclosure is built, they'll be next, and after that will be my diamond pythons. That's the plan anyway, but you never know with life, things change all the time. So in the enclosure, aspen bedding, because that's the only substrate that we had available laying around the house. Got a couple of little bits of rock, or a fake rock there, a hide that I turn upside down so they can sit under for the heat. They've got another log there to hide into, so I've got a couple of places here to hide. I need to add a branch or 2 in here sooner or later, but for now, they're quite happy. Eating regularly, they're getting quite fat now, which is great. They were a bit underweight when I got them back in December. Got the UV light, heat light, and their water bowl. And of course, with War Dragons, it doesn't take long for them to destroy their house. Apart from that, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. That's everybody we have in the family. So it's a long video, but I might do this every quarter if you guys are interested in seeing the reptile videos. So like I said, thank you all for watching to the very end. I'll see you all in the next video.